Hello and welcome to the part where we will head to our second big use case where a trainer is welcoming a customer. Now we can do this actually much easier as we have an authentication and authorization module in place. We have seen in the last 2-3 movies how we connected it to Trongate's token system. And what we will do, we will take from one method we defined is logged in optional role. We will take this little bit in usage to tidy up on here a little bit. We don't want that all panels are always visible and accessible even by not logged in users. We want to ensure that these 3 on here are only shown if a trainer is logged in the system. We'll start to do this. We would actually head to our view file of this main module. This is the main module on here. This is the view file of it. And we will surround this HTML code a little bit with PHP. And on here also, we'll close this. And we will make an if statement here. We will ask something, and if this is true, then this will be printed. And what we would call on here or ask is we will call our house module with the function method is logged in, and we made it that we can parameterize it. And we can parameterize is logged in by providing an identifier for the role we expect that is logged on. And if this is the case, then these things would be printed. So if we reload on here, those disappear. And if Mrs. Smith from Toolhouse is logging in, then they are there. Jennifer. We can use also for other things this mechanism. For example, to style a little bit on here, these menu items on there. If we would head up to the template of the complete website where this menu on here resides, we can also do it on here. We can surround the interesting points we want to put under control of something. We can also make an if statement on here and ask something. Right? So on here we can also call modules run whilst our is logged in method. We could also ask for the role trainer, but we can invert it, which actually means print these items if not a trainer is logged in. It's the other way around. Reload. We see it disappeared. And now we could actually replace, because we gained place on here, space on. We could also, oops, copy it. We could now replace those by other ones. For example, which are useful for a trainer. For example, manage attendees. If some data, base data of the attendees needs to be corrected, or manage courses if new courses are upcoming, or actually our activation thing. We'll create accounts. Create accounts for our login thing where we have these 2 mock-up buttons. They would be located on here. So if there is a trainer logged in, then we could show these items on here. And we can leave this on here upwards because they are not, they may be not so often used as this one. We remember that the toolhouse employee, this trainer, would maybe carry just a tablet or something, or a handy, a mobile phone. Then it's easier to, oops, no, this is not here. Also use these methods, also functions to welcome a customer. So we wanna focus on welcoming a customer to this course. So what we can do on here, in the view file, we first can define for welcoming on here. We can define a URL, and we will also use the courses module to fulfill this thing for us. Courses module. So reload. Here, welcome courses. Okay, so in the courses module, we will define the function welcome, and let's borrow this on here. But we will use an individual view file, view welcome, and load up the template, the public one. We know this mechanism. We have seen this. Okay. And of course, we need also an appropriate view file. Welcome attendees to course. This is a kind checking if all registered attendees have really occurred. This is something like this. Okay. So look at here. Here is the URI courses welcome, right? I will copy this. Copy. And Jennifer will log out. Nobody's logged in. We are still able to call this thing. So we need also to protect this method from here, from being accessed. And we expect that this welcome thing is only used by the trainer, right? So if not modules on house is logged in trainer, we can redirect the base URL. And if we are, is saved now. So here, reload, we see it bounced us back to the base URL here to localhost. And if Jennifer is logging in again, then we are allowed to use this thing here. Okay, on this we will work today to get on here something. I don't know yet how it will look like. No, before I forget, let's clarify what will be happening on here, and we could actually write this here inside a little bit in a small paragraph. Verify if all registered attendees have arrived to the place, have arrived on site to take the course. This is the idea of this thing, as our business logic. I don't know if you have followed the first 2-3 movies of the series. The customer can select a course and register to it, but we don't know if the customer really comes to the location. And this welcoming is creating a new list of the 2 days taking place course, to get a list who is really here. So this is the task of of this use case on here. So let's play a little bit with data, and let's try to get today's courses and attendees we expect to appear on our site. Yeah, and let's use a Trongate Desktop app for something nice, because we will speak with the database. Let's make some experiments. So we will modify an existing app, our app we use on here. And let's open the query builder. It is reading our database structure, and we can actually with drag and drop, when we click and hold and select and drop it, we can use this here. And the attendees, something like this. And in the course plan, so on here are the courses, and we can link those together. So the courses ID is on here. So we click once into this field, click, and then we move our mouse to this field on here and click again. And then it asks us how we want to join these two things with an inner join, if this meets this. And we have attendees, and their IDs are these user IDs on here. So we click on here and we draw on up to here and click again. And we say also inner join. And now we can select the interesting columns for us. So what we need to figure out what's happening today is the start date and the time. We can actually use all of those, the subject and the details and the location. Yeah, we can use all of this, that doesn't matter. And we want to know the first name, the last name, and the email. And then if we click now on show SQL, then we are getting the SQL statement for this. And we can copy this thing. And let's head to our database management system on here and simply paste it in and run this query. And then we see as a result all the columns we have selected. Image, file, path, location, first name of all courses. And if we would now extend the where clause, also join, then one is this where clause, right? We can combine it with an additional question. We could actually ask the courses and then the start date. If this one is today or tomorrow or whatever of the current date, then we would see nothing. So let's try. Okay, so if we would change some data of the courses table that it meets, maybe on here, this 3D printing thing, let's make this to May the 28th or May the 8th of May. Yeah. If you ask this again, we are getting only this one course. So this is the answer of the course of today, of today. Yeah. And we can use this thing copy and use this in a SQL statement on here. And we can indent this. I don't know if I need to put on here something like this or not. Yeah. Let's indent it once more. Why did it look so funny on here? So, okay, so we have a nice SQL statement ready to go very fast. And the desktop app helped us to do this. So we'll close this window. We don't need it anymore. Quick cut and glue. And now we basically can execute this thing. Let's make a try and catch thing. And let's make a handler or handler. Okay. And simply we would use now the method of the model class query, this very dangerous thing where we need to really know what we are doing. But on here, there is no harm because we are just selecting and we are not using any parameters from outside or something. And we can put in this query inside in, and we can make a result value on here, and we can also ask it to return the result rows as an object. Yeah. And if we survive this, we can simply output it. And stop execution step by step. And we see that we received this line, what we have seen also on here. But now I see that we don't have a courses ID and nothing, right? Let's make on here. We want to also have the courses ID as course underscore ID. And maybe it's also good to have an attendees ID in place as attendee ID. This is a user ID actually, right? But yeah. Let's see if this works. Reload. And now we got also on this course ID 2 and the attendee ID 5. Okay. And this is from today, right? Maximum attendance on here, on here, on here. Okay. This is one item. Okay. So today courses and inspect on our site. Okay, so let's put the course exp. Okay. Today course exp. Today course exp. Let's do like this. And we can also put this now on here also in. Right. And we can send this to our view file, and in our view file on here, there it would be retrievable. We can do something. If we set this one, this one, and you should see the same, but just in our thing on here. Okay. So, and now the question is what we will do actually with it. Yeah, how we want to do it. Yeah, how we want to do it. Yeah, we would. No, I still don't know how to do it. Maybe we will use for every attendee or actually for every line of a course, we will do maybe put a table and above of this maybe the corresponding user IDs for it. What happens actually if we have also this one here in place? Yeah, my dog is barking. So, also not my. Yeah. What happens if? Okay, so we have. Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, we have a course ID with the ID of 1, where we have several registrants, 6, 3, all the same course ID. Yeah, okay. So for this one here, so we could actually. Aha. Okay. 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 So about the algorithm, I am thinking we should first learn how many different courses we do have, right? This one here, and then we know like a pivot, and then for this course on here, we will look for the attendee, and this we will combine somehow optically. Yes, okay. Okay, but I need to practice because I don't have any clue how this should look like. But you see, in this way, we have nicely now prepared the data. We can work in our view file with click to make a kind of checklist if every registered individual has really occurred or appeared to our toolhouse to take the course.